Well, this is a typical Cannington Shaw one, and the reason you can tell on your bottles is it says C and S, Cannington Shaw. Now there's a number on the bottom there which is 62. Well, that's a mole number, 62. But this day and age they wouldn't accept anything like that. Can you see how it's full of blisters and everything like that? There's no detriment to it, it's just unsightly. But it was still all its contents and so on, and that was fastened in with a cork. Or there was other ones, and that one, that does say Cannington Shaw on it there. That was like a kiln jar top. It went on there like that. Excuse me a moment. This is another one which is St.Helens, Cannington Shaw. That's Cannington Shaw, that one. This is an interesting one. Right. Oops, I'm sorry about this. Okay. Leaning forward. Now, I wonder if anybody knows what that type of bottle that's called.
Right, just bring it back to your face a little bit because it's not in focus there. Right, okay, so turn it round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Now, this is a nice one. It's got winding gear of a coal pit on that bottle, and it's a rider, that one. And that's called a cod bottle. Now, a cod bottle, they're hundreds of years old, you hear people say about them. Well, they're not. He invented them about 1870, Mr. Cod. And the simple fact what he did was, there's a marble in it, right? Why was there a marble in it? Well, when they put it inside though, the gas held the marble to the top, right? And it wouldn't move because the gas was holding the marble up there, stop any leakages. Well, how would you get your drink out of there? Well, what you would get, these are what they give it people out in general. You get one of these, and you put it on the top like that, and you bang it, and that would knock the marble down and the gas would escape, right? So you could get your drink. But the problem is, if you try and pour your drink out, your marble's back in there and it's going to stop it again, isn't it? So they came up with the innovation of nipping that with what they call tongs, and they used to nip that there. So now the marble stopped. Can you see it there, trapped in that indentation there? So you can get your liquid out there.
So you just take little bits out at a time.
There it is, like that. It wouldn't come out at all. But if you get it like that and tip it that way, you can get all your liquid out of that in one go. Now these are glass ones that you just get your bottle like that with mineral water in or whatever, and where you got your mineral water, they give you one of these. I said that is, and what do you think they call them?
We know.
Go on.
Codswallop.
Codswallop, yes. That is a codswallop, but I've got a posh one.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to see it? Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
That is another one. It's Thomas Edmondson's St. Helens, and that's a young lady on a swing, swinging away there. And once again, it's your cod bottle, and that is what you call a posh. I call it a posh codswallop, because you put that on there, hit it like that, your marble will go down, you can get your drink then. But the nice one about this, it says on this, Cannington Shaw and Co. St. Helens. That's a treasure there. That's the only one I've ever seen of them, and I was lucky enough to pick that up, like, you know. It's wonderful.
So the pressure pushes the marble up.
Keeps the marble up.
You knock it down.
It's the gas, yeah.
Yeah, you knock it down with the wallop.
Yeah.
And
Turn it, that's the right way into that recess there. Can you see the reset? There's a
Yeah.
recess in there. You can feel it nipped in there, and the marble stays behind. But if you don't have it the other way, it'll block it up again. Can you see? Wonderful idea that was. Fantastic idea.
Yeah, because somebody asked the question last week, how did he get the marble inside the bottle?
Good question. That very good question. If you look round there carefully, not like them other bottles I showed you before when I said to you, on a machine, the first thing that is made on a machine, an automatic machine, is the neck ring, right? But the neck ring was put on these. The neck ring was put on afterwards. It was sweated on, and if you look round the top there, you can see where glass has been melted down to put that ring on there.
Is it a separate piece then?
Yeah. So the marble was in there. They put the marble in before they put that neck ring on. So
if anybody asks you now, you'll be able to tell them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is I've got ones down there somewhere. It's got a rubber ring in it because at times for the cistite, where the pressure of the gas was, there was a rubber ring as well. And as I mentioned to you before, I went down to Peasley Cross and I was working on the IS machines. Now I believe an IS machine, as far as I'm aware, it's a Swedish machine. An IS for me means independent section, because every section of that machine is independent of all the others. It has a firing system, if I can remember, 253643. That was a firing system, and it used to have them wiping out. The other interesting thing that was brought out as well for the first time, it's UGB Ravenhead, was a layer system. Because at one time they used to actually take the bottles that had been made and put them in like little cupboards, and gradually they reduce the temperature. Whereas a layer is an endless belt, and it's going along, and up and down that layer, the various fans and so on, and that cool it down, so you could angle them. They could still be warm, but but the thing about Cannington Shaw, it is extremely important that it should be preserved, because it's the only one that's left in the world. And a lot of people don't know this, but the firing system they used in that furnace was revolutionary. It was a Siemens reverberatory furnace. That's where they could recirculate the gas and get good heat and so on like that. And Pilkingtons were to use that, but Cannington Shaw was before Pilkingtons who used that type of furnace. It's yeah, they needed technology. I've got photographs of it, of the Cannington Shaw furnace. Metalwork's all there intact and everything, so hopefully we're going to get something done about it. I enjoyed my work in the industry, in the bottle industry, the glass industry. Sounds a bit hammy this, but I left and I worked outside for 20 years, and if I hadn't left I wouldn't be here now, I don't think, because the conditions you worked under were horrendous. You looked up in the tank, you looked up and the sun was shining. There was hundreds of millions of looked like little stars twinkling, and that was silica, glass, and you was inhaling that all the time, and you can't digest glass. Mould lube, as I was saying to you, on the IS machines which came in, some of them IS machines could produce 300 bottles a minute, believe it or not. And you have to do the lubing. lubricating again, because as I'm saying, the moulds are made out of iron, and iron is porous, and you have to fill those pores, so you have to swab like that about every 20 minutes or every 15 minutes. You have to swab to do that, because if you didn't, they'd just start sticking. They had what they call 4 headers, ISs, and I believe that they can have 10 now in a bank, 10 machines. Each one was like an individual machine. And you could stop that one and alter that with various tools and so on, and it wouldn't affect any of the others. Whereas on an Owens machine, that was at Ravenhead, and there's one in the Glass Museum, an Owens machine, you have to stop the machine, all the machine, for to change a mould or anything like that. You change blanks on the move, and then they must have weighed 100 weight, if not more. And you used to have an iron bar, stick it in and lift it off, and we just threw them. We damaged them at times, and mould shop used to come mad with us, like, you know. But it was what's the name. You had a good laugh and everything, and the other thing about it is it was them who introduced to me having a beer. Because it was tradition going off work that you went and had a pint. Coming off day turn, you call it, well, when I was at Ravenhead, you used to call it Phoenix in Canal Street. You used to call her and have a pint. A bit later on when I got married, I would come home, I was going on home at the bus. I get off the bus and I go in the Primrose in Park Road, which was near where I lived. And then mother-in-law saw me one night outside talking to somebody. She come up and roasted me. Because she stood up front, like, you know, and she saw me there. But there's lots of lads there who now sadly passed away, and relatively young men, younger than I. But it was a job. It paid for this, you know. Because on a big week, I mean, when I was at home, I always looked after my mum. As I'm saying, I used to keep my wages, but I used to always give her £5 a week. Now, a £5 doesn't sound a lot. It was a lot of money then, in the 1950s, late 50s, £5 a week. I was earning more money than my dad as an operator, you know. And I actually... at United Glass, UGB, I became a senior operator there.